Hi, my name is Aiden. I'm a second year student in the BETA's program. I applied for this degree twice but was declined my first time around, and so I have two sets of applications to show you, both what I did stronger in the second application and where I think I needed improvement in my first. So firstly, I'll be showing you my mini domicile. This is a hamster enclosure based on the VPL Central Branch Library. So something that I think is very successful about this project is that there's a lot of programming. It's not just a sort of classical enclosure. There's a lot of like hyper-specific programming for a hamster. And this is all very clearly articulated in the second page here, which shows a multitude of perspectives and interior perspectives, as well as sort of this plan view and section view. And so I think that's something that helps the whole page be very legible and help my idea get through to the viewer. And then if we look at my first application, this is a bird cage inspired by the Bund Financial Center in Shanghai, which has these like moving sort of pillars, which I then translated into like the wires of a bird cage. I think still a cool concept, but the photograph I think is not articulating the concept as well as it really wants to. As well, if you look inside, there's not as much forethought into the programming of the domicile as much as it is just an enclosure. And then lastly, I think the thing that really needed improvement about this application was that I didn't really articulate my drawings in a way that's very clear. I think something I would have gone back and told myself is to make them architecturally legible. And like this one is not in plan or act, so it's sort of like halfway in between, and then these are not really scanned nicely. It would be a good, I think I needed improvement for this one to make my drawings more legible and really express my idea that way. Secondly, this is both my mediator applications for on the left the first time around and on the right the second time around. On the left are a pair of headphones that display the music you're listening to, so that you can like socialize around your music tastes. Again, an idea that I'm still very proud of, but I don't think the image conveys the purpose of the headphones as well. It looks more to me in retrospect that I'm looking at an image of a person who's wearing the headphones as opposed to the headphones being the sort of star of the image. And so I think that this composition maybe lacked legibility in that way. Whereas I think my idea on the right and the composition is really showing you the effect of the mediator, as well in the composition showing that the mediator is the main event. Secondly, another thing I think I did really well, something that was very successful in my second time around, was that I was able to assert my own political and belief systems onto the project, because I think I forgot to mention this, but it is a anti-AI, anti-biometric data collection sort of headpiece that's also very fashionable. And I quoted Jane Jacobs in this sort of piece of text here, as well as trying to make it accessible for all skin tones. And so I think I was able to really give the viewer an idea of what kind of person I am and what my belief systems are, more than just an idea of a mediator. And so I think this project was very successful in that way. And lastly, I have my lampshade for a phone. I think what was really successful about this project, and this is actually my favorite project I've ever done, almost ever. I really like this project. It's one of my favorites. But it's a very comprehensive study of like paper and a certain behavior of paper. So I spent several months experimenting, or several weeks experimenting with folding pleats in paper on a curvature, and so folding like these curved lines into paper, and then using the like shapes I was able to derive from those curves into creating this fragmented form, and then lastly putting together this whole composition. I think honestly my workflow for this was very strong and just lots of experimentation. I think I gave myself a really good amount of time to sort of put together this idea, and I also think that the photographs really convey the light and shadow that makes this unique, and how the form articulates that. But in my first application, I think where it's lacking is that even though this is like a book lamp and it has more a practical use than the latter second application, I think that the images don't articulate the purpose as well as they could. And again, same with some prior drawings, the or some prior projects, the drawings are not articulating my idea as well as I think they should have, and are lacking legibility. I really think I would have gone back to myself and said, like, just look at some architectural drafting examples to sort of familiarize myself with how that's done, because I think that the idea wasn't bad. I just struggled to get what I wanted onto the page legibly. And then my last tip is make sure your graphic design is good and make sure everything is legible. It is sort of a last thought, but your idea is only as good as it is on the page, because the reviewers just can't read your brain. And I wish I would have known that applying my first time. But that's something I think I found out in my second half as I put more effort into the composition of the page as a whole. That's all I have to show. Thank you so much.